We'll start in just a minute, everyone. When I was younger, one of the ways that I got involved with PNDA more directly was with FAYLC, the Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference. The first kind of camp overnight thing that I ever went to, and it happened to be Filipino focused. They really taught me how to lead and what it meant to be a leader, what it meant to lead through the values and the education that we have, how much you can change, cause a positive change with what you know, and make a change in your community.
I was a participant in the very first conference back in, I believe it was '96. But when I realized that this conference was happening again, you know, it just kind of renewed that passion in me, you know. So it's kind of like the one thing I do right now on a yearly basis that I will book time for to come back and give back to the community. That's just how much of an impact that it made on me.
I feel like Filipino identity has been something I've always been active in developing in myself, and something that I've been active in developing or trying to develop in the community. And it's been difficult to do so without kind of a more focused opportunity to help out the high school students. So that's why it's great that FAYLC's been coming back and that PNDA has really been, you know, spearheading the movement to bring this back for the youth, because it's very important for a lot of Filipino American youth, especially in a city like Sacramento.
I'm excited to like connect with students, like share my experiences, and for them to share their experiences, like regarding like, you know, being Filipino American.
The only fear I could really think of is like not being able to connect with any of them.
I'm afraid that I'm just like there instead of actually helping.
But think about the kind of support that you just provided for the student. So the role of counselors is to help mentor these students throughout the entire weekend, because it's the first time that these students may find themselves in this position where they can actually connect with someone whom they can relate to culturally, ethnically, and making sure that they build connections that can potentially last a lifetime.
So last year we had about 35 students show up for FAYLC. This year we are going on 65. When they come in, they check in, they get their keys. The students actually dorm with another student, so the females with females, the males with males.
And then you are forced to room with a person that you do not know. So I think that also is a main part in this conference, is to help you with your social skills and to know more about people that are just like you.
This is my first time hearing about something like this, and I thought it was like really cool. I felt like I didn't have like that background to like actually like the history, I guess, of being Filipino.
Turn on the light.
I'm gonna take this out if I can.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it. See, this is what you're gonna do. See, you have the date, you know, the time, what you're gonna do. So make sure you're on time, okay?
Okay.
So today...
I mean, yeah, my mom told me, and then she was like, yeah, you should go here. And I was like, whoa, I have things going on this weekend, like sleeping. But I went to like my uncle, and he was like, yeah, you should go because they've been doing this thing for a long time. It's important to know about who you are, not what you are, so yeah.
And as most of you know, my name's Rosie. I have been emailing you, contacting you this whole past 2 months, and so I'm so excited that you guys are here. And I'm going to introduce you to the PNDA president, Mateo. Let's give him a round of applause.
This is something that we all really have a heart in, because some of us are parents, a lot of us are, you know, we're all Filipino, so we know what it means to be identifying ourselves, but you guys are the future. You guys are the future leaders that we want to make sure are fully supported with everything that we do. So you guys have a fun weekend and enjoy yourselves. And last but not least, the person I want to introduce you to is one of our founders, and then I will shut my mouth, and then we'll move on to Rosie. But real quickly, just give a round of applause for one of our founders, Miss Cynthia Bonta.
I have learned through FAYLC that peer leadership is so effective. The closer the generation is in mentoring, it's pretty effective. I just brought 3 from my own city, Alameda. I'm so glad that their parents couldn't drive them, so I could get the job of driving them and get to know them, because I already told them a lot of different programs in Alameda that they will then talk about here in FAYLC, as well as be involved when they get back.
All right, over here, 1, 2, and 3.
Magnus Thompson.
So I've got involved with FAYLC, I would say officially in 2008 when I was a participant. My sister was involved in Cynthia Bunta's PNDA and received the OFIA award, and also was a counselor and participant in FAYLC before. And so when I had the opportunity to try it out again, but as a counselor in 2016, I took the opportunity and did it. And it's great being a counselor. Not only your mentor, but you, in a way, you help facilitate these Phil-Am youth that already have like these ideas and these passions and this search for identity, and you just kind of just facilitate what's already there and just guide them.
We just want you guys, again, to know that this is a safe place. Whatever is said here stays here. Whatever you guys have to say stays here. All right.
So tomorrow's my second day here, and I'm really looking forward to it with all the different workshops that we'll be having. One of them was about the lies and truths that we have in social media, and that seems like really relevant to today's time because we are all on our social media, all on our phones, and it just seems like a really good point to bring up to young people today.
My name's Stephanie Cruz, and I spent 20 years working in TV news here in Sacramento and all over the country. I wish growing up that I had an organization and a group of other Filipinos that I could bounce ideas off of, celebrate our culture with, and I didn't. And even though I grew up in the Bay Area, very diverse community, we didn't have anything like that. And so I want my kids to not only celebrate their culture, be proud of who they are, but to lean on other Filipinos. I want them to be really involved and have a strong sense of identity and community and a strong sense of self.
Honestly, without FAYLC, I don't think I'd be where I am today. With FAYLC and with a lot of the other projects through PNDA, it was a great opportunity for me to develop my leadership skills and my social justice kind of mentality. So I think that FAYLC and a lot of the other projects with PNDA really played a heavy role in developing that side of me, which is why I do what I do today, and that's to help the community out when making sure that they have equal representation under the law.
How has immigration played a role in your life?
When immigrants come here, usually on a tourist visa, like for Filipinos, they want to stay here. So the only way they feel comfortable is, they gotta hide.
We don't talk about our status because it seems like it's even called like Tagon and Tago, and that's kind of like, why do we call these people Tagon and Tago? And that's kind of making them don't come out of the shadows. It was hard for me to come out too, to be an activist, to share about my stories, because my grandma told me, don't talk about that because you may be deported.
There are a lot of tech channels on YouTube, and if you look around, a majority of them are white and male, but there's a specific one that I watch, Bitwit Kyle. I'm not sure if he's Filipino, but I know that he's
Asian American.
Asian American, and he's a big influence to me because, like, all the other people, even though they're all friends, they're all like white and he's the only Asian one.
I don't have a role model, like Filipino or otherwise, but I really want to become a role model for my other siblings because my parents are like so, I don't want to say pressuring, but they want me to become like the best. So they can, because I might be the first one to go to college, and I really want to, I don't want to let them down, so.
I remember this one time, like, I was at a camp and, like, there's this, like, gay Asian, like, politician, like, getting inducted into, like, the Hall of Fame, like, at Boys State. It was just really cool seeing, like, myself on stage, even though, like, he wasn't Filipino, but, like, he was, like gay and Asian. I was like, oh, hey!
Yeah.
And, like, I don't see that much, like, other than, like, George Takei and, like, all that. But I like the idea of, like, bettering myself and, like, matching, or maybe even, like, exceeding, like, the bar they've set.
I find it really hard to find a role model, especially, like, in the dance world, because most ballerinas are, like, white and really tall, and you see us and we're like short, and they don't really like short girls and stubby girls and that are really dark. They like porcelain skin and nice structured like ways of dancing, and it's really hard to like find someone to like aspire to be. So I feel like if I dance, I'll probably motivate other Filipino girls to dance as well.
Gising na! Alright! Got breakfast, got orange juice!
I'm really looking forward to the skits that we've prepared, because like it's like to kind of reminisce and go over what we've done throughout these 3 days that I really don't want to end, because like it's been really fun meeting all these new people and learning about our culture.
I want to welcome you all to the Filipino American Youth Leadership Conference 2017. This encompasses history, leadership, especially learning about themselves and their personality differences. They learn about Filipino history here, in particular in the Sacramento region, as well as learning about the significance of the red, yellow, and blue colors of the Philippine flag. And they learned Eskrima. I would like to present our first family, which is Tim Nola. What is this? Ay, naku, CJ.
At FAYLC, we had to readily, steadily, mentally prepare ourselves for the necessity of finding ourselves.
Welcome.
I want to become more in touch with my culture and learning more about my culture, and also learning more about the people who also share my culture.
When we were hearing like the history about Filipino people with Liz and Tom and Dick, reading like history is like one thing, but actually like hearing it from them was like a whole different experience, because I felt like that energy come off of like their words, and like it was really impactful. Cause like I knew about the pain, but now I like felt the pain.
Like our like the name of this conference, Philamplify, I would like to amplify the voice of that of the culture that I learned throughout these 3 days, and I would just like to amplify it and teach it to others.
I find that every year is pretty emotional because you don't realize the impact that you've made on these students and on yourself. You know, this is a leadership conference, and as a planning committee, you know that you're leading a committee to plan this great conference, but it just teaches you that you're so much more to this community by helping these students and participants and these counselors. And again, it's like realizing how much Sacramento and Northern California needs something like this.